Weasley there. That's it. More analysis of the day's main stories on Newsnight with Kirsty Walk, just getting underway over on BBC Two. But the news continues here on BBC One as we join our colleagues for the news where you are. Have a very good night.
Thanks, Clive. Good evening and welcome to Look North. Good evening. Families on a newly built estate in South Yorkshire say they live in fear that someone will be seriously hurt after a spate of car crashes. Residents in Waverley and Rotherham say parts of the estate are particularly dangerous because of a lack of road markings and give way signs for traffic. Parents have told us they're constantly worried for their children's safety. Ollie Constable has our top story.
So we've had a vehicle come down Bradfield Lane, fly across into a van and has forced it straight into that house there. We had a van come up Derwent Chase that went flying across and hit a car. We've had, again, numerous other crashes at this junction of people just not being able to negotiate how to turn or come onto this main road.
And the residents say the crashes are happening because a lot of the junctions here have no give-way lines. In fact, a lot of them are the same, with Jennifer now being worried her child could be hit on her way to school.
I'm worried every single day that she's actually going to get there safely and come back without being hit.
And even while we're filming, this happens. Another close shave in the same spot where there have been half a dozen crashes so far this year. The Waverley estate is quite new. It means the roads here haven't been adopted by the council, and instead it's on the developer to make sure they're safe. Well, Harwood say they're built to the right standards, but had a traffic report prepared after the spate of crashes. Aparna's kids, though, struggled to sleep at night.
The car ended up literally here.
Their house was almost hit in one of these crashes. Now her son worries he could be hit next.
See, we live in constant fear every day. I stop my kids playing in the front garden. They don't play here anymore. They can't cross the road here to go to the park because of the accidents and the overspeeding and all. And I'm constantly in a worry every day.
But it's not just the lack of markings here that are worrying people. They say it's a rat run, with drivers cutting through the estate to nearby Catcliffe, speeding. In fact, the developer's own traffic report says 1 in 10 drivers goes above the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. And it's not the only junction. This is literally round the corner, with near miss after near miss after near miss. And eventually, the inevitable happens. The developer says it will paint the white lines on this junction, but for the people living here, the damage has already been done.
It's very reactive. My understanding is that they've built it to highway standards, but it feels like that's a baseline, and more common sense and a little bit more proactivity should have been included in the design process.
Work is due to start this week, but only after several crashes and now many families living in fear. Ollie Constable, BBC Look North in Rotherham.
In other news, a man has appeared in court charged with arson. It's after a fire caused more than £2 million worth of damage to a Michelin-starred pub. Charles Burkett is accused of starting the fire at the 14th century Star Inn in North Yorkshire. His solicitor indicated he'll be pleading not guilty. The 28-year-old, who's from Helmsley, is due back in court next month. A man accused of murdering a woman in Doncaster has appeared in court. Kelly Bothwell was found at a home in Sprotborough with fatal stab wounds on the 5th of August. 52-year-old Paul Cousins appeared at Sheffield Magistrates Court today. Support staff at the University of Leeds are on strike over pay all this week at the same time as the university clearing process begins. Members of the unions Unite and Unison are taking part. They include admin workers and IT technicians. A-level results day is this Thursday, and there are fears the strike may cause problems with confirming university places for next year.
What I would say to students is that staff are at the end of the rope. They haven't got anywhere else to go, and this is a last resort. And it's not just for us that we're fighting, it's for students. They're going to be future employees, whether at universities or in other sectors. We want to see all workers have fair pay across the entire country.
Well, in a statement, the University of Leeds says it's disappointed that Unison members are taking this action when it's committed to working with the union on a pay and grading review. Now, a beauty therapist from Sheffield has won a British gymnastics title after 30 years after giving up the sport as a teenager. 44-year-old Susie Kerfoot was inspired to start again after taking her daughters to a lesson. She won gold in the intermediate category at the Adult Gymnastics British Championships, and she said she still wears her old leotard for good luck.
I never thought that this would happen, but I'm so pleased that it finally has. I cater my gymnastics to the things that I can do, where I'm not quite so flexible or bendy. In certain moves, I will just do different moves.
Fantastic, she looks pretty flexible to me. Right then, that weather's been awful. Let's see what's coming up. Here's Paul.
Hello again, good evening. Well, a big improvement on the way over the next sort of 24 hours. We'll see some sunshine, still a risk of a few showers, but as I say, it's going to be much brighter. And high pressure generally in charge on Wednesday and Thursday too, with a hint of 1 or 2 afternoon showers. Still some rain, especially across parts of North and West Yorkshire in the short term, but that will clear into the North Sea and will end the night on a dry note and a mild one as well. Lowest temperatures around 13 or 14 degrees. So a big improvement, as I say, tomorrow. A brighter start with some sunshine. There you can see 1 or 2 showers breaking out, especially across more eastern parts. But further west, it looks mostly dry. We'll see temperatures coming in at 21 or 22 degrees. Further ahead then, it's a similar story on Wednesday and Thursday. Some sunshine, a risk of 1 or 2 showers, but later on Friday we'll see outbreaks of rain spreading in from the southwest. That's the forecast.
Thanks, Paul. A little bit better. Right then, that's it from the Late Team. We'll, of course, be back in the morning from 6:25. Goodbye.